Okay, in this lesson, we're going to be looking at different values and seeing which one are solutions to the inequality. So you have three different options that are listed. For this example, we have 10, 5, and 13. And we're going to plug them into this inequality and see which of these options make it a true inequality. So I'm going to start with 10. I'm going to write down the inequality that I was given. 8 is greater than negative 5. Plus, instead of writing x, I'm going to plug in my value of 10. And then I'm just going to simplify what I have now. So on the right side, I have negative 5 plus 10. I can simplify negative 5, adding 10 to it gives me a positive 5. And I'm going to bring down my 8 and greater than symbol. Remember, the alligator always is supposed to eat the bigger number. And for this example, 8 is greater than 5. So we have a green check. We know that the first option is true. I'm going to circle it in green to keep myself organized. Then I'm going to go ahead and try the second option. I'm going to write down the inequality that I was given again. 8 is greater than negative 5 plus, and instead of writing x again, I'm going to now substitute in my value of 5. Simplifying it now, I have on the right side, negative 5 plus 5 gives me 0. Bring down my 8 and my greater than symbol. Alligator needs to eat the bigger number. 8 is greater than 0. So I can give that one a green check. It's also a true solution. And now I need to try my last one. I need to see if 13 is a solution or not. So I'm going to write down the inequality that I was given. 8 is greater than negative 5 plus. This time I'm going to be substituting in 13. I'm going to simplify on the right side. Negative 5 plus 13 gives me 8. Bring down my 8 greater than symbol. And right here we're saying that 8 is bigger than 8. We know that that's not true. So 13 does not work as our option. But if this were to say 8 is greater than or equal to 8, we know that 8 is equal to 8. This would have worked. So I know that 1 and 2 are my only options, so I can go ahead and bubble in 1 and 2 and then submit my answer. All right, next example again, we are given three different options. We're going to plug it into our inequality and see which ones come out valid. So I'm going to write down 5 plus 2. I have 2 times x. So for this first example, I'm going to substitute in negative 3 in place of my x. Finish off the inequality greater than or equal to negative 1. On the left side, I have to follow my PEMDAS order of operations, so I need to do 2 times negative 3 first to give me negative 6. Bring down the 5 plus. Bring down the greater than or equal to negative 1. And I can keep simplifying. 5 plus a negative 6 gives me negative 1. Bring down the symbol greater than or equal to negative 1. And we know that negative 1 is equal to negative 1. So our option 1 does work. We're going to try it again, substituting in negative 8. So I'm going to write down my inequality, 5 plus 2. Substitute in negative 8. Greater than or equal to negative 1. I need to simplify. 2 times negative 18 gives me negative 16. Bring down my 5 plus. Bring down my greater than or equal to negative 1. I need to keep simplifying the left side. 5 plus a negative 16 gives me negative 11. Greater than or equal to negative 1. And I know that the more negative that I get, the smaller my number is. So since negative 11 is actually smaller than negative 1, it's more to the left on the number line, this option does not work. Negative 11 is not greater than negative 1. And I need to try on my last option, 5 plus 2. I need to substitute in -5 greater than or equal to -1. 2 times -5 gives me -10. Bring down the 5 plus, bring down the greater than -1. Still simplifying, I have 5 plus a -10, which gives me -5, is greater than or equal to -1. 5 again is more to the left of my number line. It's smaller than -1, so this as well does not work. So 1 was my only option that works. I'll bubble in 1 only and submit my answer. And then one more if you need the extra practice. We're again going to do the same thing. First, I'm going to plug in -1. So I have -10 is less than or equal to 9 plus 4 times -1. Keep simplifying. 4 times -1 gives me -4. Bring down the 9 plus, bring down the -10 is less than or equal to. I know that 9 plus a -4 is just like 9 minus 4, so that gives me 5. Bring down the less than or equal to -10. The alligator needs to be eating my bigger number. -10 is less than or equal to 5. It is less than, so this is a true statement. My 1 works. I will do it again, plugging in -8. -10 is less than or equal to 9 plus 4 times -8. I know 4 times -8 gives me -32. Bring down my -10 is less than or equal to 9 plus -32. I'm going to simplify on the right side by doing 9 plus a -32, and I get -23. Bring down my -10 is less than or equal to. The more negative I get, the smaller my number is. So 23, -23 is actually a lot smaller than -10. So this option does not work. And I'll do my final example of substituting in -10. So I have -10 is less than or equal to 9 plus 4 times -10. 4 times -10 gives me -40. Bring everything else down. 9 plus a -40 gives me -31. Bring everything else down. -31 is a lot smaller than -10, so that option does not work either. The only thing that does work is my first option.